Now, clinching the season wasn't a foregone conclusion until we beat Leeds. The fact that we thumped Man City 4-0 just kind of put the final nail in their coffin. They're going to finish in second place as it is. Gallagher had a brace of goals in that game. Doku had a goal. Zagadou had a goal in the 90th minute. Against Sheffield United, Esposito goal in the 75th minute saw us through. And then against Norwich, who are not the best team, we stumbled. I played a fairly rotated side, a younger side. Trying to get the youngsters some more playing time, but like Ethan Laird had a bad game. Conor Gallagher had a bad game. Esposito had a bad game. And Christos Zolis had a really good game, scored a brace of goals. Sola made the game look closer than it actually was, but it was, I'm not going to, yeah, it was a pity goal. So, we are currently on 92 points. We are 11 points ahead of Man City. They have kind of stumbled the last few games. If we look at their schedule, they've drawn 2 and lost 1. And the one loss they had was against us. And then they lost to PSG on aggregate in the Champions Cup. So who is still there? It's going to be Inter and United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is still in charge there. So that said, we're playing Liverpool today. If they win, they can sneak up into 6th place. Brighton won the Carabao, so they have that spot. I think maybe if I go here, it'll show that. Yeah, Brighton won the Carabao. So if Liverpool wins and West Ham draws, there's a decent chance that... Well, wait a minute. Yeah, if you go by goal differential... Well, you know, what's the tiebreaker? Goal difference, goals scored, results between teams. So if Liverpool does manage to beat us, goal difference, goals scored, they'd beat West Ham. So this is the team we're playing today. Barry's going to be in goal. Admiral, Zagadou, Tizier, and Laird is the defensive back four. Ricci, Stockbridge, and Tonali as the midfielders. Hannibal is the attacking midfielder with Sola and Doku up top as the strikers. I need to switch those two around. Admiral is Zagadou. Ricci, Stockbridge feeds Sola. Sola cuts by the defenders, takes the shot, and Becker, a very nice save. Doku on the corner sends it in. It's knocked away. Ricci's going to run it down. Oh, he's just... Oh, well, he was kind of dispossessed by Trent Alexander-Arnold. And now he's fully... Oh, no, we got the ball back. Hannibal to Ricci. Ricci to Doku, but he can't beat Allison. Fairly even game so far. 4 shots, 1 on target for us, 5 and 2 for them. Playing a little bit further back, and I'm not quite sure why. Cabral to Moore. Barre comes out. Rolls it out to Zagadou, who Rabonas it back to Barre, and then somehow it ends up bouncing back and forth. Elliott ends up with it. Oh, Cabral hit the woodwork. I swear, there are times when I think our player of the match should be the woodwork. Stockbridge to Sola. Sola gets the ball to Hannibal. Hannibal, and he hits it right at Becker, who makes an easy save. Doku sends it in, knocked away. Hannibal. Oh, Becker comes up. Sorry. A bunch of noise going on upstairs. I'm trying to fix my filter, and I just edited the sound a little bit there. Let me do this real quick. Oh, Sola got by, and he scores. It was an inopportune place to pause, but we'll see it on the replay. They're going to call him offsides, aren't they? No! Go us. Laird heads it down to Ricci, gets the ball to Tonali. Tonali to Doku. Hannibal, through pass to Sola. Sitting on the back shoulder of the defender and just snuck right by. A goal right before halftime. It's always good. Yeah, he was onside. And we go into halftime. 10 shots, 4 on target. Not the best possession, but that's okay. Tizier knocks the ball away. Trent Alexander-Arnold on the throw-in. Salah gives it back to Trent Alexander-Arnold. To Mariba. Back to Elliott. Trent Alexander-Arnold inside of the box. Crosses it in, and it goes just wide right. Gomez, back to Allison. Fofana to Elliott. Back and forth, Fabinho to Gomez. Up to Cabral. Back to Fabinho. He gets it out to Robertson. Oh, Zagadou stepped in front of Salah. Laird back to Barre. He sends it forward. Oh, Stockbridge ends up with it. It was a misplay. Stockbridge takes the shot, but it's right at Becker. We're going to get Admiral off and bring on... we're going to switch him with Laird, and we're going to bring on Polito. Zagadou, Ricci, Tonali. Ricci to Zagadou, back to Barre. Barre bombs it forward. Fofana ends up with the ball. He and Trent Alexander-Arnold are going back and forth. All the way back to Becker. He tries getting it out, but Polito jumps in front of it. Tonali feeds Sola, who gets a second goal. He may have been offsides there. Yeah. Fofana back to Becker. Gives the ball away, essentially. Zagadou, Laird to Ricci. Ricci up to Hannibal. Sola to Doku. Tries feeding Sola again. Sola goes outside, crosses it, and there's no one there. Polito's going to stop it before it goes out of bounds. He gives the ball away to Elliott. That was a bad pass. Cabral. Open a space for Salah. Oh, Barry came out and got in the way, and then Laird ended up knocking away. That could have gone really, really poorly. And that is the game with a bit of luck. Considering Liverpool mostly dominated the first half and the first part of the second half, we escape with a 1-1 draw. We escape with a 1-0 victory. It's a good way to end the season on a high note. Liverpool fell down to 8th. Chelsea went up to 7th. So your top 6 are Crystal Palace, Man City, Tottenham, United, Newcastle, and West Ham. We'll save the game here. We'll come back with a review in just a bit. So, I mentioned it last episode how far ahead in recording I am. Those of you who do pay attention will notice it's a new Palace hat that my wife got me off the shop. And then she also got me this t-shirt. Stand up here just a little bit. It's also available on the Palace shop. It's their previous kits and badges. In looking at it, I may try to do something with these for next season's kits with the, I'm totally blanking on the name now. I got it right here. The Kit Basher program, which I had way too much fun with. So, George barking at something, walking by. The neighborhood is quite full today with family and friends visiting everybody. So Liverpool lost out. So the question is, what's going to happen to their coach now? They fired Ancelotti. Almeida took over. Of course, Guardiola's at Lamont. I checked on this earlier. So we received $38.62 million for the win. We got a bunch of medals. We did the double. We won the Community Shield earlier in the season as well by beating West Ham, who then got their revenge by beating us in the FA Cup and the Europa League. So I thought what we'd do is take a look at the players here, discuss who may or may not be moving, look at some of the guys on loan. Some of them probably won't be coming back either. Well, we know for sure Fatu isn't. So we'll be back with that here in just a bit. So I mentioned it last episode as well. The players who are leaving are those who just haven't developed well enough. Some of that's my fault. Some of that is just probably something inherently up with the game. It's all youth players. We're not losing anybody really of consequence on the squad right now. Fatubu is moving to Juve. He is injured for the last part of the season, and he did okay there. He had 10 starts, 15 off the bench, 1 goal, 5 assists. He started out really quick. Wait a minute, that may have been for us. He started out really quick and then kind of fell off at the end. No, it's 1-6-1. So, Ferguson will be leaving. I'm going to move him on. Canales is leaving. Sevilla came in, made an offer for him, and I accepted it because he's essentially my 4th advanced midfielder and 3rd backup on the right. and at 2-star current, 2-star potential, I can find better options out there. Unless somebody comes in for some of these players and makes a move for them, I don't believe we're going to be buyers. The big reason is Hristo Lovkov got his work permit, so he's going to be my starting left back. I will probably keep Adamarola. Laird will be on the right. I would need to bring it back up in for both of them. Polito's nice, but it's going to be depth more than anything else. And a lot of the players we have coming back are going to get playing time next season as well. Jair is. Depends on the striker situation up top, but I might send Gedek out again. Gula, I'll probably move on. Okeke, I might keep. Then again, maybe not. I think of the 3 kids in our first youth intake, he was the worst of the lot. That doesn't mean he's a bad player by any stretch of the imagination, but I don't know that he's good enough to play here or come off the bench. And it's pretty much how I'm looking at it now, but things can always change in that regard. Appearance-wise, let me get the lone players off here. Appearance-wise, Samuel Ricci, who started the season unhappy with me, wanted to leave and then decided he didn't want to. Led us with 43 appearances, 6 off the bench, 3 goals, 8 assists, a player of the match. Ethan Laird, again, a solid season, 43 appearances, 5 off the bench, no goals, but 8 assists, 7 players of the match. His defense and passing are absolutely fabulous. I'll be honest, I'm a little underwhelmed by Doku's numbers. 39 appearances, 5 off the bench, 12 goals, 7 assists, 2 players in the match. I would have liked to see more goals from him, but then that's not really his role, as he's playing a pressing forward. Conor Gallagher, a solid season, 39 appearances, 3 off the bench, 5 goals, 4 assists, 2 players in the match. Sandro Tonali, a good season, 37 appearances, 11 off the bench, 2 goals, 6 assists, 2 players in the match. Dan Axel Zagadou, 4 goals, 1 assist, 3 players in the match, and 37 appearances, 9 off the bench. Andy Stockbridge, who's probably the best young English midfielder in the game, in my opinion. 36 appearances, 4 off the bench, 9 goals, 5 assists, 2 players of the match. Grigoras, very solid defensive center back. 35 appearances, 8 off the bench, 3 goals, 2 assists, a player of the match. Sebastian Esposito led us in scoring. 24 goals, 10 assists, 5 players of the match. That's switching between the advanced midfielder and the forward position. Jordan Clark, a good campaign as well. 16 assists, 5 players, 16 goals, 5 assists, 1 player of the match. 27 appearances, 14 off the bench. Jose Basola, 15 goals, 3 assists, 6 players in the match. 24 appearances, 14 off the bench. Hannibal was an absolute monster in the midfield. Between him and Tonali, or between him and Esposito, they did a really good job. He will probably be my starting midfielder or advanced midfielder next season. 22 appearances, 18 off the bench, 8 goals, 15 assists, 4 players in the match. I think if we go here and we look at his form. Okay, so that's 4 in Continental, 2 in International, 11 in League. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm missing 3. I mean, I'm assuming that's all the assists. But if we look at it, he got most of them as an advanced playmaker. I did switch him back to midfielder from time to time. He's good depth there. But between him, Tonali, and Gallagher, it's probably going to be him and Tonali next season. We're set. Francisco, 16 starts, 13 off the bench, 3 goals, 4 assists, 1 player in the match. A very good impact sub. Coney de Winter did okay. 20 appearances, 8 off the bench, 1 assist, 6.91 rating. Christian Canales, who I really underused this year, but like I said, he is moving to Sevilla for a decent sum. I want to say it's like $13.75 million. 8 appearances, 9 off the bench, 3 goals, 5 assists, a player of the match. And then Tom Pierce, 7 appearances, 3 off the bench, 8 goals, 2 assists, a player of the match. And Rasmus Holland, who in a half season's worth of games did really well for us. 7 starts, 3 goals, 1 assist. So the thing I like about it, and I said this before and I'll keep saying it again, we did not overly rely on 1 or 2 players to get things done for us. Yeah, Esposito led us with 24 goals and 10 assists and 5 players in the match. But, Sola had more players in the match. Hannibal had more assists. We had 4 players in double-digit goals, and 1 player was just outside. Stockbridge had 9. And assist-wise, we had 2 in double digits. Polito was on 9. Ricci was on 8. Laird was on 8. And Doku was on 7. So again, we're really spreading the wealth around. It was a total team effort, which is what I'm looking for. I'm not trying to rely, I should say, on one player to be the be-all, end-all focal point of the attack for us. I just think you're setting yourself up for failure if you're doing that. It's one of those cases where I think in this case, Palace as a squad is... What's the phrase I'm looking for? The sum is total. The sum is greater than the total of the parts. I'm probably saying that wrong. But, with the exception of Doku, I think the most we've paid for a player was like $45 million, which frankly is a lot, but it's not the $100 million or $112 million or something like that you see. That's probably why I'm a bit underwhelmed with Doku's season this year, is because we paid so much for him. I was really kind of going back and forth on that. But, with Pellegrini leaving and a couple others leaving, it's a chance I took, and in some regards it paid off. If he has a similar season next season, but everyone else around him also performs similarly well, I will be okay with that. So, the good news is, at least especially up top, we have a wealth of talent. There is Doku's there. Holland is a very good replacement for him for when he needs time off. We got Esposito, we've got Clark, we've got Sola, and I've taken it as fait accompli that the boys are never going to be truly happy with my signings unless I find a youngster who absolutely blows everybody out of the water, and we sign him for 150 pounds a week, which is kind of the case with Mehdi Bari. We paid $4.2 million for him. He took a really low contract offer, at least a weekly salary. Right now it's $8,500, I want to say. He'll be our starting keeper next year. Iturbe coming off the bench, he gets an A-, but Doku gets a C, Holland gets a C+, Polito gets a C+, Tonali got a C, Hannibal got a B. Those were the transfers in. On the transfers out, they're satisfied. It's a C. Okay. C, Kasunu, Sean Smith. Could have gotten a transfer fee for him. Higher transfer fee. Rita Walt's going to be a B+. Oliver Skip's a D. Jaden Raymond's a C+. Safanov's a C, even though we got a ton of money for him. Joe White's a C-. You know what? I want to check something out here real quick. Where did Hertha Berlin finish this year? They finished 5th in the Bundesliga, which I believe qualifies them for Europa League. Euro Cup group stage. Good for them. Wow, that's some very nice prize money. Result-wise, the Boers wanted us to qualify for the Euro Cup. We finished 1st. Our stadium was sold out for most of the time. Competition top goal scorer, and this was in the Premier League, was Clark and Esposito. They each had 14. So we had a really good run of games. There was one part probably right in here where we fell off, but the big drawback to this season was losing in all the cups. The 5-1 victory against Chelsea was nice. The 3-2 victory against Newcastle was a very good game. The goal of the season was Stockbridge's goal against Lyon. We have a worldwide reputation now. No new sponsorship deals. Our broadcast revenue's down, which I think is due to the fact that we were out of the Champions League into the Euro League and the revenue isn't as high there. And then our competition prize money's down as well because we didn't do as well, especially getting knocked out of the Carabao and the FA Cup. Yeah, that would be our expected best 11, I would say. Although, yeah, I'd switch a couple players around, at least in terms of where they are on the field, but yeah. So, Club Awards. Ethan Laird is the Club Awards. Ethan Laird is the player of the season. A young player of the season is Sebastian Esposito. That's his last year eligible for it. Signing of the season, Mehdi Bari. Goal of the season, Andy Stockbridge. Esposito had 24 goals. Hannibal had 15 assists. Ethan Laird had 7 players of the match, rather, and a 7.4 rating. And Tizier completed 71 passes per 90 minutes. It's really good. Most shutouts in the season. Safanov had 19 before he left. And we paid $55 million for Doku. And Tom Pierce won European Golden Boy. So Stefan Willibald won it last year. Jordan Clark won it the year before. Yusufa Makoko won it in 23. Musiala won it in 22. Pedri won it in 21. So he's he's interesting. He's one of those, I mean, physically he's solid, but he's not fast or spectacular. Mentally, again, solid, but he's not really spectacular by any stretch of the imagination. The 3 position kind of hurts him, as does the 4 concentration. So he's kind of your typical advanced forward. He's got decent dribbling and decent first touch, not the best finishing. They're saying deep lying forward, rather. That would make sense. You know, the passing would need to improve, the technique would need to improve. But he is injury prone, and we'll probably put him out there just to see what happens. So we had 2 draws this season. That was a record low. Grigoris was named in the overall best 11. It has Sheffield United. It's Mitchell's at West Ham. Elise at Southampton. Guehi at Mainz. So we won the Prem. We won the Community Shield. Did Ayu retire? Ayu retired. He's unemployed. He wants to be a head coach. Not really with those skills. What about Nathaniel Klein? He wants to be a general manager. He would be a very decent lower league general manager. As a goalkeeping coach. He's not the best goalkeeping coach either. Zaha's at Dundee United. Lavoyevich is at CF Montreal. In major leagues? Okay. High scoring, high quality shooting. We were best in the league there. Jump performance, well above league average. 2.3 goals per game, 1.8 expected, conceded 0.8. Expected goals against was 1.23. Shots was 16.16. Shots on target, 49.5. That's actually really good. 87% pass completion. Tackles one was nice as well. Defending, lots of blocks, lots of clearances. Norwich and Leicester were up there as well, which is interesting because the thing that helped us out here is that offensively we were also really, really good. Long-range shots, we scored on none of our 19. And then opposing long-range shots, we conceded 11, which I don't want to say I'm okay with, but, you know, if they're if the goals are coming in from distance and there's such a low attempt, there's such a low percentage shot as it is, it means we're doing well keeping them out of the box. We will accept the current vision. Squad dynamics, we're doing well. End of season team meeting. Discuss plans for next season. I'm going to tell the guys we're going to qualify for championship. Juve won the Italian Cup. Where are they at in Serie A? They're second because I believe Milan is first. Yeah, Milan is first just by a point. Although I'm reasonably sure. Are there still games left? There's one game left. 2 games left. Milan's playing West Ham. Good on West Ham. And then players on loan. If we go by appearances, Eyüp Gedik, who is a young Turkish striker who's got a ton of potential, who I will probably keep next season. Did a really good job. 44 appearances, 10 goals, 1 assist, 1 player of the match. Chris McCaskill wasn't too hot. Jair had a solid season, 38 appearances, 9-5-3. John Okeke was 2-5-0. Everyone else had pretty solid seasons. The only one who really kind of didn't was Fatubu, who started off hot and then kind of fell off at the end there. But the fact of the matter is, if we click on him, he is joining Zebra. He is joining Juve permanently for a good amount of money. We got a nice monthly from them. It was like 32 something. I want to say, no, it was 24.5 million. So I am okay offering Ricci a new contract. Midfielder, deep line playmaker. I'm okay with that because that's where I play him 9 times out of 10 anyways. 135. Yeah. I won head coach of the year. Bender was the goalkeeper of the year for the, or he was the English Premier Team. Bander's the goalkeeper for the English Premier Team of the year. Grigras, Zagadou, and Laird made it. Tonali made it. That's really good. Tizier is 3-star and 5. They keep saying it's bravery, but honestly, his bravery isn't that bad. It's an 8. And we've been working on his aerial, which develops his bravery. So, I don't know. So we're going to get to the stop here. Solid season for us, despite the disappointments in the Carabao, the FA Cup, the Champions League, and Europa League. It was a good campaign for us. We're back-to-back winners of the Prem. 95 points this year. 90 points last year. We have a good chance of three-peating. I think we can do that. What I'm more interested... Ooh! They're enlarging the stadium. We're not getting a new stadium. That's interesting. I know in real life, Palace had plans to build a new stadium, and I believe they got council approval to at least start the initial planning and work on it, and then COVID hit. So we'll have to see what happens there. Actually, the picture I use for the intro screen on the title, top left is the original Crystal Palace, the structure that was built for the World Fair and then burned down, and then Selhurst is at the bottom, and then on the right is an artist rendition of what the stadium would look like. So, and it definitely has promise, so we shall have to see how that plans out. Overall, a good season for us. Winning the Prem is nothing to sneeze at by any stretch of the imagination. Winning it twice in a row is very, very good. We've got a solid squad. We can always make improvements to it. I don't know that this is going to be a case of adding by subtracting this year as it was in some of the early years. But this time around, next season, the goal is to win the Champions League. We have to win some sort of trophy. I would like to win more than one. The Community Shield was nice, but I'd like to win more than that this year as well. So it's the last year of the save, and we're going to have to pull out all the stops to get it done. And that means, I'll be honest, I don't know what that means. I talked about this last episode, and I've been thinking about it more and how I played this save wrong starting out, because I'm playing this like it's a long-term save, and it's not. It's a 7-year save. So my issue is I've got players like Krzysztof Lovkov in that coming in finally. He qualified for his work print, as I mentioned earlier, who's going to be my starting defensive left back, when, in all honesty, I might have been better off spending $40 million on a 25-year-old left back who was going to be here for 3 or 4 years and could help us win trophies sooner rather than later. I do plan, at the end of next season, I always sim out 3 and 7 years just to see how the club does after I retire or resign. I am going to keep this save as an offline personal save. Next save I have coming up after this one is going to be very cool, very unique, at least for me. It's going to be a combination of a couple of saves I've done in the past and a new goal for me as well. But we'll talk about that more when that series starts up. So, like I said, a good season for us. I'm happy. It doesn't look like it, but I'm happy. We won the Prem. I can't be upset about that. What I can be upset about is how we fell out of the Champions League, how we fell out of the Europa League, how we fell out of the Carabao, how we fell out of the FA Cup. And that I will take a day or two. Well, it'll be more than a day or two, but that I will take some time to reminisce on and figure out how we can turn things around this last season of the save. So if you did like what you see and heard, please leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more content, questions, criticisms, comments. Leave those down below. I'll answer them as fast as I can. My name is FM Jelko. Thank you for watching.